Have you ever had a person come into your life, break down all the walls that you built over the years, then just like that, leave you in a blink of an eye? I certainly have. And I was told by some that things happen for a reason. People come into our lives to either teach us a lesson and change our lives, or we're the ones that are there to change theirs. Even if that person can't stay for some reason, we are supposed to be thankful that the person brought joy into our life. We need to stop and remember the good times and be grateful for all of those moments that they made us smile. In my opinion, that all sounds great, but it's also easier said than fucking done. Welcome to my podcast, Chaotic Harmony. I am your host, Angela Schultz. Today, I want to talk about the one woman that broke down all of my walls, that annoyed me to the ends of this earth, and in the very same breath, she made me laugh until I pissed myself. The woman that changed my life drastically, and will never know how much she actually impacted my life because she left this earth way too goddamn soon. Her name is Jill. She was a single mother to three beautiful children, struggling with mental health issues, and boy, did she wear her heart on her sleeve. She always put others' needs before her own, even animals' needs. If she wasn't helping friends out in any and every way possible, she was rescuing animals. This woman would cry for, as I put it, my cousin's mother's best friend's dog that died. She would literally be bawling her eyes out as she's scrolling through pictures she found on Facebook of this dog that she never even met, but she was so sad. That's the kind of person she was. Jill and I had our moments that I am not fucking proud of, but we we always managed to figure it out and moved forward. In 2018, Jill got to a point where she was the one in need of help, and I personally couldn't sit back and watch her get worse. Her mental health was declining, and she was being forced to move. I needed to make a decision, and I did. Without even talking to my husband, I told her, "You're moving in with us." End of story. I wouldn't take no for an answer. I knew I was doing the right thing. Did I think past that moment? No. When have I ever? I have never thought things through. I wasn't going to change it then. I just knew that Jill was moving in, whether anyone liked it or not, and hopefully everything would fall into place. Explaining my decision of Jill moving in to my husband was interesting. He kind of had that like deer in the headlights look on his face. As he should. I mean, I was sitting there telling him another woman was moving in with us that happened to also have mental health issues. Like me. Yay! After he was done looking at me like I was crazy, okay, he still looks at me like I'm crazy, so who the hell am I fucking kidding? But either way, he made sure that I understood I was the one that was moving Jill in. I was, not him. And now, when I was getting all this podcast ready, I wasn't going to add this in there, but I have to right now. He was like, "You made sure to say that you are the one that moved her in?" Yes, honey, I moved her in. With that being said, Jill was officially our new roomie. Or, like she would say, homie G-Funk. Now, Jill and I had a lot of things in common. Oh, we did. Especially our taste in men. Now, I may be biased here, but we really did have great taste in men. Oh, I guess this is the point where, in time, where I should kind of mention the part that I've been piddle paddling around. Jill is my husband's ex wife. Yep. And the mother of his three children. My bonus babies. So that, that deer in the headlights look that I was talking about? That was to be expected. Jill wasn't any other woman. She was once his wife. They got divorced. That meant that, for me anyways, that Jill and I shared children. And we shared family members. Hell, we even shared last names. Why not share roofs over our head? I was with my husband after they were done, though, so I won't go as far as saying we shared the dick. But hear me out. We both married the same dick. Just saying. Oh, shit. As one can imagine, there were hiccups here and there and everywhere. But name one family that doesn't. Especially when there are two women in the household with mental health issues and a whole ton of kids that don't listen. And one husband. Jill and I both had big personalities too, so it's whatever. Whatever day we were having, that's the day you were having. If you were pissy, you're pissy. Whatever. We were already considered crazy, so why not throw in another woman and her animals? We never tried living like any other people anyway, so fuck it. We didn't care. After some time had passed by, I started seeing Jill in a different light. I started calling her my sister wife. She was already telling people that I was her sister, so I didn't see the harm in it. I was just adding an extra word. The day I told her I was making it official that she was my sister wife, she laughed so fucking hard. Oh my god, her laugh. Her laugh was so contagious. She would go into this full body shake, or if we were lucky, a leg kick, a high leg kick as well. Her face would turn all different shades of red. And if tears weren't running down her cheeks, then they sure as hell were running down her legs. After Jill gained some composure, just for a little bit, she stared at me, looking all serious, then grabbed my hand and said, "I am officially your sister wife." As corny as this sounds, it was actually a beautiful moment that I treasure. Like, I treasure it. Some might think it might be weird, but to us it wasn't. It was my own way of telling her that I loved her and I saw her as my family. So I let that little moment sink in. And I let her hold my hand just long enough to make sure she knew that she was my sister wife. But that title didn't give her any, absolutely none, zero special benefits with Tony, aka the husband. Of course, that just made us laugh even more. Once the laughter calmed down a bit and our stomachs felt like they were on fire, she bursted out, "Girl, you crack me to fuck up." She said that to me a lot, to the point where it's actually tattooed on my arm, so that whenever I'm feeling sad, I can look down and she's telling me I crack her to fuck up. So, yeah. Jill and I didn't waste any time. As soon as we established that we were sister wives, we went straight to plotting our new mission in life. Mission: make Tony feel awkward. This mission wasn't going to be too hard because, hell, I tend to embarrass him without even trying. Just being myself embarrasses this man. Might be more than that, but I refuse to ask him for a direct quote, okay? So adding Jill to the mix of this was going to be epic. And epic it was. Jill and I started our mission off slowly. We would sit at our large family table across from each other and just babble on and on about what we could do, what we shouldn't do, but what we could do. And, we should do this. We could do this for hours, giggling all damn day. Now, if you're any kind of prankster, then you would know you never start off with a big prank. You need to start with something small, something you could build on. And that's just what we did. Makes it more fun. We started off simple. We started calling each other sister wife anytime we were around him, because he didn't realize that That's what we were declared ourselves as. He thought it was a joke. He was annoyed a little bit every time, that he heard it. And if he tells you differently, he is lying right out of his ass. He gave us the look like y'all crazy. Whatever. Then Jill and I came up with the silly conclusion that I guess it was more like we started to connect the dots, okay? I was chubby. She was chubby. She was crazy. I was crazy. I am talkative. She's fucking talkative. The list was endless. And we went on for days about this list. So we started to give Tony shit about being a chubby chaser and a crazy maker. He likes to correct us, well, me now, by saying we were both hiding our crazy from him or something like that. I'm not sure. I kind of do this thing where I shut my listening ears off when I know I'm right. I did hear him say something like crazy women are better in bed or whatever, but that might just be because he was giving us a compliment or me a compliment. Who knows? Tony didn't seem to let any of our accusations bother him though. They all seemed to just kind of roll off his shoulders. Jill and I realized we needed to up our game. We obviously weren't getting the job done. So, matching clothes was next. Now this part actually we didn't plan out ahead of time. It happened more organically. We were at a store in the mall and both jinxed each other as we walked past a mannequin saying, I love that top. Jinx, you owe me a Coke at the same time. At first, I wasn't going to get it. I didn't see her. I mean, I did see her as a sister wife, but matching outfits. I also saw how much she loved the top, and she had more clothes than, or I had more clothes than hers. So I told her just to get it. I wasn't gonna get it all butthurt over a damn tank top. She kept asking me if I was sure. Are you sure? Are you sure? It really wasn't a big deal. And the next thing I know, she was at the checkout and had two of the same tank tops on the counter. She looks at me and she's like, I ain't leaving the store without two of them. It was the sweetest thing ever. I actually still have that tank top in my closet. On the way home from the store, we brought up the idea of surprising Tony with our new outfits. That was epic. Seeing his facial expression as he looked at us standing side by side in our cute matching tank tops and a huge smiles was priceless. Team Sister Wives, win number one. He may have called us crazy or whatever, but when he walked past us, but that's old news. Jill and I had plenty of paperwork from the doctors confirming all of that already. Point is, we saw him that day, he accepted it, and that was our whole mission. Mission accomplished. We were officially his sister wives. Love you, hon. Jill and I both suffered from mental health issues. Now that made life seem really hard at times. Still does. Even the simplest of things like washing the dishes or getting out of bed felt impossible. Or feels impossible, I should say. The cool part about having Jill live with us, though, it meant that there was another woman in the house that could help me when I was having those tough days, and vice versa. We had each other's backs. We took turns cooking supper. Chores around the house were taken care of by either one of us or both of us, or it was just a flip flop. We even took turns with getting the kids to and from school. If one of us was having an off day, all we had to do was let the other one know, and then we would figure it out from there. We were showing up for one another, no matter what. Something I never had with another woman that I ever lived with. Those walls that I built up so strongly from my past, it started just crumbling down. And I started allowing Jill in. And I am so thankful for that. Jill and I ended up having the deepest conversations We would bare our souls to each other, sharing each other's stories. And I began to realize we had so much more in common than just the superficial shit. Talking to her about my past and present and knowing I wasn't going to be judged felt amazing. I never thought I would ever find someone besides my husband that not only understood me but also could relate to me. It was to the point where we became each other's support system. Now, was that support system perfect? Hell no. We had our fights. We annoyed each other. We said things we didn't mean when we were upset. I even complained to my husband about her more than I should have. But Jill and I never went to bed without saying or texting, "I'm sorry" or "I love you" on those days. We knew just how much we both needed each other in our lives. She would repeatedly say, "Thank you for helping her," not realizing how much she was saving me the entire time. I don't think I ever told her just how much she saved me. And that hurts me every fucking day. Every fucking day. Sorry. Oversharing personal things that nobody wanted to hear or even know about was something Jill and I were extremely good at. Like farts. Yep, I said farts. Farts. We were not 13 years old. However, we acted like it. We sure the hell do. I do want to throw all of this out there, though. We were living with teen boys that at that time that's all they did was fart on each other and think it was hilarious, fart on a pillow, whatever. I'm just throwing that out there. So maybe we were influenced by them. If I wasn't there to personally hear Jill's fart, she would straight up text me and let me know, "Hey, I farted. You missed it." And she would also add how long it was and how bad it smelled. You should smell it. I can't believe I was saying this, but I miss those text messages. I do. I miss those text messages. They're so stupid. And I would look at them like, "Oh my God, why is she telling me?" And now I'm here like, I miss her fart text. Oh my gosh, Jill. Oh my gosh. This was something that happened daily. Since Jill and I were comfortable enough sharing our farts and shit, we quickly started sharing all personal details with each other. It was as if one could say one fart blasted all barriers down and no topic became off limits. Next thing you know, we're just sitting there, two chicks at a table, eating cottage cheese and chips. And if you don't ever try cottage cheese and chips and try to say you gross, no. Go out there. Sun Chips, cottage cheese, try it. Don't be a hater. Jill was a hater until I turned into her lover. Either way, we were just two chicks sitting on that table eating cottage cheese and chips together. And then we started talking about our yonis. What's a yoni, Angela? Well, good. Thanks for asking. It's a vagina. I don't know why, but it started out letting each other know when we did some lawn care, like grooming, to our yoni became a thing. One of us would just exit the bathroom and make sure the other one knew, "Hey, guess what? I just did some lawn care." "Oh, that's good. Good. I need to do that tomorrow." I can't honestly remember how it started or why it started, but it did. Now, from the outside looking in, I guess that sounds a bit fucked up. Even saying it out loud sounds a bit fucked up. Because I was married to her ex-husband. But to Jill and I, that was just another Monday. We were just sitting there chilling, eating cottage cheese and chips. Whatevs. I strongly believe that all of the oversharing that we did helped prepare me for what I'm about to get into next. This has got to be one of the most intimate moments we've ever shared, I think. Jill accidentally toe fucked me. Yep, Jill accidentally toe fucked me. I just want to make sure I said that so you could hear it right. You might be asking yourself right now, How did she do that, Angela? Why did you allow that, Angela? Or, what the fuck, Angela? Well, hear me out. There was a tornado warning in our small town, and our whole family went straight to the dark basement once the sirens went off. Except for our husband. He was standing out in the middle of the baseball field, staring up at the sky like, duh, trying to see if he could get a good look at a tornado. Not a bright one, I know, but I'm not either, so potato, potato. Jill and I were sitting next to each other on one side of the basement, and the children were up against the basement wall across from us. The energy in the basement was filled with anxiety and fear from the children. As to be expected, a lot of that was due to the fact that their dad was outside in the middle of a fucking field, and the kids didn't want him getting sucked up by a goddamn tornado. Jill and I tried our best to keep the kids calm, but nothing we did or said was really helping. But us mamas, we tried staying calm. We were down there for what felt like forever. My ass began to get sore, so I was moving around a bit, trying to get comfortable. Seconds later, and I mean literally seconds, after I got into a better position on the cold ass concrete, I started feeling something odd moving around near my yoni vagina. It was like inching closer and closer to my privates. I was looking down at my crotch area, but I couldn't see anything because it was so damn dark. And all of a sudden, whatever this thing was now fiddling with my yoni. At the exact same time, Jill and I bursted up. Jill and I started bursting out. Shit, I was yelling, "What the hell? Something's moving around and touching my vag. I can't see it. What the fuck?" I'm freaking all out. Jill, in a more curious tone, was saying, as I was yelling all that, "What is that? It feels so weird. Guys, my toes are touching something funny, but I can't see it." The children immediately put the flashlights from their cell phones on, only to discover Jill's left foot was safely resting between my legs and her toes were wiggling around. What I was feeling the whole damn time was Jill's toes playing around with my yoni. We were all laughing, and everyone was. It changed the whole energy. I smacked her on the shoulder and I yelled out, "You just toe fucked me." And then we not only took a picture to mark the memory, but we laughed the remainder of the time. After that is all said and done, Jill and I would randomly burst out into laughter and talk about that whole toe play experience. It was definitely an experience. We would come up with all kinds of nicknames to call each other as we sat on the kitchen table crafting our diamond art that we became obsessed with. "Toe sucker, you got some more glue over there?" "Yeah, I do, badge flicker." We had no shame in who we were and what we did, as life should be lived like. With two mamas in the house, I felt bad for our children and whoever tried to mess with them. They weren't answering to just one mama bear. There were two of us. Big ones. The school principal figured that out pretty fucking quick. Jill and I were just hanging out, watching one of our favorite TV series, when we got rudely interrupted by the phone ringing off the hook. It was the high school principal letting me know that our son Matthew was getting detention. Now I listened. I really did. I listened to everything that was said before I responded. In fact, I even had to push Jill away from the damn phone before she blew up. I was first told very quickly that Matthew yelled a swear word in the hallway. So my response was, well, was something going on that triggered him to yell that out? Jill was in the background. "Yeah, what's the whole story?" I tried shrugging her off. But if you knew Jill, you know that trying to keep her quiet was impossible if she was upset or passionate about something. The principal said Matthew yelled out "fucking stop" to a boy that was messing around with the girl and her wheelchair in the hallway. I opened my mouth to respond, but Jill had my back. She yelled, "So you're sticking up for the girl?" So he was sticking up for the girl in the wheelchair? I followed with, "Did the boy that was messing around with the girl in the wheelchair get in detention?" Jill thought, "Yeah, did he?" The principal's voice got softer and more quiet, to the point where you could almost not hear him. And like he was like a dog walking around with his tail between his legs. I don't blame him. He had two mama bears on him, two big ones. We were told that Matthew yelled at was not our, like we were told that the boy that Matthew yelled at was not our concern. Our concern was Matthew, and Matthew was going to be serving detention. Oh my God, did my blood start to boil. I lost every filter I had left as I blew up. So what you're telling me is our son saw a girl getting bullied, stuck up to this bully in attempts to help the girl, and instead of giving him a thank you, you're giving him a fuck you? Is that what I'm hearing? Because if that's the case, I will be contacting the school board and getting your ass fired for this. My son was always bullied, so he knows what it feels like. And what you're showing him is that you should just sit back and watch the helpless get picked on. I hope you sit back and watch your ass get fired. Jill was yelling all kinds of shit at the phone the entire time I was ranting. Then click. The phone line was dead. I looked over at Jill, and Jill looked over at me. We had a quiet moment and said, "This motherfucker just hung up on us." Hell no. I dialed that school back as soon as I could, asked for the principal. "Oh, yeah, he's here," and heard, "I'm so sorry, Mrs. Schultz. The phone disconnected." Jill and I started laughing our asses off. "No, you hung up on me because you know I'm right. You threatened me, Mrs. Schultz." Jill's laughter got so bad. She did pee herself. She was all red. She was laughing so hard. We even got the famous leg kick. "I didn't threaten you, fucker. I told you I was getting you fired. You are not punishing the right person." After a few minutes of going on back and forth with this stupid ass principal, I'm like, fine, whatever. My son is obviously going to have to do this detention, but I want to make it very clear that he was not. I made it very clear for him to know that I did not think he was principal material, and I would make sure everybody else knew it. He hung up right after that. I was okay with that. Because every time Jill and I saw this principal after our little chat, we could call it, he would put his head down. So he would go into, "You can't see me. I'm hiding." We made sure our presence was known and that we could see him. And we may have called him like a little bitch under our breath or laughed in his direction. What I'm getting at with this story is no matter who it was, our Mama Bear team wasn't letting anyone get in the way of anything when it came to our cubs. And just like that, all of the daily things Jill and I did together, breaking out into song, like Shoop was a big one, Salt and Pepper Shoop. She'd be like, "Shotgun bang," and then we would just go from there and do the whole thing. We did diamond art at the table, watching all of our shows, picking on each other, talking like we were in high school. All of that became memories. The day that felt like any other ordinary day became the worst day of my life. Jill had unexpectedly died right in front of us. We didn't get to say goodbye. It felt so unreal, and it still does. I don't understand why, but for some reason I thought I would wake up and she would be standing there giggling in my face saying, "Gotcha!" It's going to be 3 years on the 25th of May. And I'm still waiting on that gotcha, Jill. I still am. I never truly realized how much I needed Jill until she was gone. And that pisses me the fuck off the most. because that means I probably never showed her how much she meant to me and what I would give to see Jill again. Without even trying, Jill taught me so many life lessons. Make sure you let everyone you love know that they are loved because tomorrow is not guaranteed. Never take anyone for granted. Love madly and don't apologize for it, even if it's your best friend's sister's dog. Most of all, don't ever say anything you don't mean when you're upset because those words can't be taken back. And trust me, it is hard living with regret. Make sure you live in the moment as much as you possibly can because one day you will be sitting here like me, left with just those moments in my head for memories. I love you, Jill, and I'm sorry. I know you probably won't hear this, obviously, but just had to say it. Thank you for tuning in and supporting my adventure. I appreciate every single one of you. I honestly do. Now go out there and crack someone the fuck up and make normal feel boring. Bye.